Well, I think, and Kelly and I are humble men, but I think it's fair to say that all of the good fortune that has befallen Atari recently is because of us, at least largely because of us, if not entirely because of us. Do you think that's fair to say, Kelly?
Yeah, I think like in the spirit of like contributory negligence, and I think that may be the most appropriate term for this in some ways. I think we're the 51%. I will give, their CEO and their marketing team a little bit of credit too, but beware the panda bump because when the panda bump hits you, good things happen.
They helped like when a little kid helps their parent fix something by handing them the screwdriver and feel like they're a part of it. That's kind of what that is. We're the ones doing the work, though.
Yep. Yeah, but we're not going to take the credit, even though
We're too humble.
yeah, even though you could argue we deserve the credit.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, definitely,
yeah,
without question. But
yeah,
we're too humble. And I would say humility is probably our best quality between the two of us.
yeah. It's tough because there's so many good qualities we have, but I do think humility is the one. But we've been talking Atari, and what happens? They have their best fiscal year in a long time.
Very long time.
$36 million in revenue, 29 million of that coming from software for the Atari 2600 and the Atari 7800, and other things as well, but a lot of their cartridges. So and then successful platforming. And so I don't know what the numbers are on sales of the 2600 plus, but I'm sure it doesn't approach original 2600 numbers. But I
Yeah.
think they're selling. I think probably selling better than the Lynx did, or the Jaguar rather.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say this is and I mean they're not really new consoles. They're, re-releases of the 2600 and 7800. But I think it's fair to say that this is the first time Atari's really been back in the console market, probably since the original 7800. And I'm a fan of Lynx and Jaguar. We're fans of those products on this show. But the reality is, not a lot of people actually had those.
Yeah, and I think we should at least give a pat on the head to Wade Rosen, who's the CEO. Looks like he's about 12. He's a young, youthful looking gentleman, but through his guidance and of course our help, Atari's doing pretty well, which is just it's awesome to see because it's you have to go through quite the family tree at this point to kind of connect this Atari to the original marijuana smoke-filled rooms that's bilged out the Atari games to begin with. However, there the names there, the connections there, so huge at the beginning of video gaming, and to see them kind of coming back. And I guess the nice part is, a lot of times when folks kind of reach the pinnacle and they're at the top, there were folks kind of rooting for them to get knocked off and kind of revel in their lack of success. You never really saw that with Atari. People kind of felt a little bad. I mean, there were interesting decisions that were made during the big kind of crash period of time. But nobody was like, good, Atari deserved that. So I think can't imagine anybody's mad about it at all.
No, I can't think that that's the case. And I think what's cool too is, and again, we're not patting ourselves on the back. This is just the facts. What do we talk about a lot? Doom. What are some other things that we've talked about? The reissue of Doom through Nightdive Studios, who also reissued Quake and a number of other titles that we've talked about quite a bit on here. We've really championed Nightdive, their work on Doom, Doom 64, Quake. We even talked about when they reissued PO'd and updated that. And what does Atari do? Buy Nightdive Studios.
That's right.
I'm just saying, we talk them up, Atari buys them, and now that's a big part of Atari's portfolio because Nightdive Studios is very in demand, especially when it comes to remastering old games. They really, really understand how to do that because it still looks retro, but there's enough modern polish. It's the perfect balance. It looks great on modern computers, but you get enough of the retro feel still that it doesn't feel like they remade the game.
Yeah, the remastered Doom stuff uh, compared to uh, like Doom 3. I just they feel obviously there's a lot of reasons for it, but it feels like a regular extension of the game. But when you get, where Doom 3 is an entirely different uh, experience from what you're used to for Doom play, in my opinion. And So it is kind of nice to see it. So yeah, and then Digital Eclipse is another pickup that they got. Of course, we sang the praises of the Atari 50th edition software, which if you haven't gotten, you need to get on whatever platform you want. I don't know if it's not available on the 20 or the new Atari VCS yet, but everywhere it's available in lots of other places. So you should get that because it's pretty awesome. Yeah, really, I think the only minor misstep is I don't think that the happening VCS, the modern VCS is really performed tremendously well, but maybe it's done okay too. I'd be interested to see the sales numbers between the 2600 plus and the VCS.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if the Plus systems have outsold the VCS. But I mean, it's been a few years. You can still buy a VCS. So I do think it's held in there longer than I think a lot of people expected that it would. But I don't think you're going to see the kind of numbers that you're going to see with the Plus systems. And I think what's really interesting in this is not only are they promising more cartridge games, which is great because in a recent video, you guys should go back, watch, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Go back and watch that recent video. We talked about a rollout of 5 more cartridges that are going to be coming out in the Plus lineup. But this article not only mentions more of that, but it also teases another Plus console.
Yeah, and we have our fingers crossed on what that plus is going to be. I think we're probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's tough because it's like it feels like it has to be that, and yet I feel like it's not going to be that.
and if you haven't, I guess Jaguar Plus is what Mike and I are really hoping for. Have we steered you wrong yet, Atari? Just if you're on another road, maybe now's the time to jump on that Jaguar Plus road and do it. I think the big challenge, and this was one that, and I forget who did the video, but there's a lot of them out there on kind of why you're not, and you've talked about it some too, why you're not seeing kind of mini consoles of things like the Saturn or the Dreamcast, a Dreamcast in particular. And there's a lot of issues, but one of the videos I watched on it talked about, well, one of the problems is why would if these are to kind of tap into nostalgia and the number of units sold for that particular device wasn't really large to begin with, the number of people you could nostalgia are pretty small.
It's pretty small. Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to be true for the Jaguar as well. But wouldn't that be cool? I would love that. I would absolutely. We were doing the skip it listed buy it right now. It's a buy it for me.
Oh, to buy it day one. I don't even care what it costs.
Nope.
I would buy a Jaguar Plus immediately.
As long as it's not made out of aluminum, because that might
Yeah,
price me
well
out of the
then,
market.
yeah. I'll
Precious
have to
metal.
get in to start selling my organs on the black market if it's made of aluminum.
Yeah, I would absolutely love it. That would be great. But we'll have to see. So we just wanted to, not take any credit, but just
But what else could it be?
it's clearly so there's the 2600 plus, and they've done a mini for the
400,
400.
the
So they
computer.
could still do
Yeah.
a mini for the 800. They could do something with the 5200.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
so those are all possibilities. Um, but gosh, I hope it's a Jaguar.
But I want it to be the Jag.
Really do. But we'll see. Let us know in the comments. Are you in agreement with us, or would you be just as
Although
happy with?
I will say, if they do a reissue of the Marlboro cigarettes links, then I'll take it.
probably be more of a vape thing now. It'd be one of the vape brands, but yeah, that would I would buy that too, and I'd be pretty price elastic on that. They could upcharge me on that, and I'd dole out a few Atari tokens for that. So we'll have to see on that. And no updates on their hotel. That's another thing, guys. Don't forget about the hotel. We need that. I need to stay there a lot. So please don't forget about it.
Especially after you put out thousands of dollars for a Marlboro cigarette and a Lynx Mini.
And get the Atari presidential suite for that. So that'd be pretty cool. Hey, let us know in the comments if you're in agreement, you got something better in mind. No need to congratulate us. Give us an attaboy for the fine work we've done for Atari. But even if we hadn't done all that, well, more importantly, we're just super glad to see a company doing well and not tariffed. I believe. I think they're okay. I think Atari's built in the U.S. Could be wrong, but we'll have to see on that. So fingers crossed on that. Anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, please be Jaguar. Just do it. Make Jaguar.
Make Jaguar great again. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.